Welcome back to the Retailer Education and Awareness Program. In this video, we'll discuss breaches of the peace, including how they are defined and the penalties when a breach occurs. A breach of the peace is a disturbance on a TABC licensed premise, including any instance in which law enforcement or emergency medical service workers respond to a licensed premise. Breaches of the peace fall into two categories: a simple breach of the peace and an aggravated breach of the peace. If no serious bodily injury or deadly weapon is involved, it's considered a simple breach of the peace, as defined by the Texas Penal Code and the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code. The penalties for licensed premises that fail to report are as follows. The first violation will result in a 3 to 5 day suspension of the license or permit. On the second violation, the suspension lengthens to between 6 and 10 days, and on the third violation, the suspension lengthens to 18 days, along with the cancellation of the license or permit. In each case, a fine equal to $300 per day of the suspension may be imposed. An aggravated breach of the peace occurs when a licensed business conducts business in a manner as to allow serious bodily injury, death, or any incident involving a deadly weapon, as defined in the Texas Penal Code and in violation of the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code. The penalties for aggravated breach of the peace are as follows. On the first violation, the license and permit will be suspended for between 25 and 35 days, and a fine of $300 per day will be imposed. Any further violations will result in cancellation of the business's TABC license or permit. It is a violation of the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code if the license or permit holder fails to promptly report to TABC when a breach of the peace occurs. The penalties for establishments failing to report are as follows: a 2 to 5 day suspension of the license or permit, along with a fine of $300 per day for the first violation. The suspension is extended to between 4 and 10 days for the second violation and 12 days for the third violation. Further violations could result in cancellation of the license or permit. A breach of the peace may be reported in several ways. The following are all acceptable reporting methods. Report through your Alcohol Industry Management System or AIMS account. Email the Breach of the Peace form found on the TABC website to breachofpeace@tabc.texas.gov. Report in person at any TABC office or fax the form to your local TABC office. It's important that you provide as much detailed information as possible when reporting a breach of the peace. The information that you are required to report will be the same regardless of which option you use to report the breach. That concludes our presentation on breaches of the peace. Thank you for watching.